I keep saying it, but it's a really great time to be a Tomb Raider fan. We have all of the core design games remastered and now available on all major platforms. Fans are discussing and craving for more Lara Croft adventures. Some want Saber to then take up the mantle from the original design and make something new from that classic style. Angel of Darkness is in a decent state as well. A new game is being worked on, and hopefully that turns out to be good too. Tomb Raider Legend is available on the PlayStation Classics catalog for those players. You can play the Legend trilogy on the Xbox through the 360 games, being able to be played there. There's a lot to enjoy about all of this. The Tomb Raider Legend trilogy even got added to GOG's preservation program too. So what is next for Lara and what we can experience too? What is going to be the next big thing? It would seem that the developers of the Tomb Raider Remastered Collection 4 through 6 have already started to tease what's next to their player base. So recently, the Tomb Raider 4 through 6 Remastered Collection received its first big patch. With that came a bunch of fixes and improvements to the games in that collection. Something else fans started to notice were new loading screens being added into the game that were not there before. Again, this is why I love the Tomb Raider fans. Sure, I talk about Tomb Raider a lot on this channel, but these fans, many that have even graced my channel too, they have an eye and insight for this stuff that goes well beyond me, and it's just downright impressive at times. So some of the newer load screens look very similar to the official wallpaper and art of Tomb Raider Legend. You might think, just taking a quick glance, maybe people are reading a bit too much into this. I could get that initial thinking, something like that. But at the same time, I would say, just from looking at these pictures, this has to be deliberate on part of the developers. I say this too because Saber definitely seems to have their hand on the pulse of the fandom. Someone on the team probably thought it would have been really cool to throw out a hint here and there just like this, probably thinking if someone would pick up on it. Oddly enough, the fans were all over Twitter posting about this after the launch of the patch. You cannot get anything past these guys. And you know what? I think these fans are very much right. I think Legend is next up on the menu. Even without these teases, it logically makes sense to then remaster the Legend games next. In the history of Lara's games, that trilogy is the next big known set. I do want this as a side note too, that I will continue to push for the portable games to get remastered as well, to sort of preserve that history for the fans and honestly Lara. Make all of the games available, very accessible to the players. I want to be in a world where I can go on Steam, look up Tomb Raider, and I can buy or play any of those games very easily. But shifting focus back to Legend, this is the logical next step if the remaster train is to continue. And based on the information that we have, I would assume that the publisher and Embracer Group want to continue with more Tomb Raider remasters, especially since they have more games within her history that are not as accessible as they could be today. Now, like I mentioned before, if you're a PC gamer, the Legend trilogy is there for you to play, but not everyone is a PC gamer. Along with this, there are naysayers when it comes to the Legend trilogy that write these games off as being more Baby Raider and not fun at all. I have to completely disagree on that front. Yes, the first entry is more on the easier side of things with Legend, but as an action-adventure title, what a ride. It's a brisk journey that is one that I've revisited several times and still want to go back to because of the quality there. This was the start of the new trilogy, and it seemed to want to sort of combine the classic Lara with the movie Lara too. The entire trilogy, yes, is different than what we have seen with the core design games, but I believe the spirit is still there. Plus, I biasly love this characterization of Lara, but there are more traditional elements the more you play these games. Yes, Legend is more straightforward and easy, especially in the puzzle department, but Anniversary, especially with it being a remake of 1, I very much believe this retains a lot of that isolation and figuring it out that Tomb Raider was known for. Underworld sort of combines elements of both, and I think it hits this perfect medium, where you have some of what made Legend so good and what was going on there, along with elements that were really awesome from the core design games. The blending with Underworld is great. The game is just a bit rougher than I wish it was, but something a remaster could definitely improve upon. Now I feel like I need to address this in almost any video that I make related to the potential Tomb Raider Legend remaster. I always seem to get some comments saying that these games do not need a remaster. They look good, you can play them now. Why should Saber and all of them waste resources on doing remasters on these games? Look, there are some grains of truth there. Yes, the Legend trilogy, especially on the PC, looks good and even plays well enough. Tomb Raider Underworld on the PC looks amazing still. But that's the key, not all players are on PC, and even depending on the game, these titles have their own issues on PC, with related bugs and such, like the next-gen graphics options for Tomb Raider Legend are buggy, and don't always work too. Then some will say you can play them with the 360 versions on a modern Xbox console. Yes, that is great, but at the same time, you are then locked to playing those games at 30 FPS and in an awful resolution. Plus then you have the console-specific DLCs and costumes that are not on PC or never on the PS3. There isn't really a definitive version of these games, so when I see people saying that these games do not need remasters, I see it a lot coming from a place of those gamers not understanding what some of us are asking for. When I look at the potential Tomb Raider Legend remasters, I want it to be about cleaning up what they can then provide with the accessibility. A set of remasters would make it so that anyone, anywhere, could actually enjoy these games. Why should these titles only be on PC, and then again on PC without the DLCs? And you play it on PC if you want it to look and play well, but then you're going to be missing that true ending that's locked on the Xbox. Like, I can play Tomb Raider Legend on my PS5, that's cool, but it's locked to a PS2 resolution and at a 30 FPS. With modern tech, we all deserve better than that for these games. I can understand if you are just not interested in these titles. It feels like the Legend games started a bit of a split since the gameplay styles are different than the core design games. For others, the Legend games are where they may have started with Tomb Raider. For me, this was the first Tomb Raider title that I had ever beaten. This was my introduction to her, and for that, it holds a special place in my heart for Legend specifically. Going through the trilogy and then replaying them, I have come to appreciate Anniversary and Underworld as well. I actually have videos scripted that I haven't been able to get to yet because of all the other Tomb Raider stuff that keeps coming out that needs to be talked about, more topical stuff. But I will resume those videos again too. But my point with all of this is that it seems like we're going to be seeing the Legend trilogy again, hopefully an announcement at some point this year. It is definitely being teased. There's a lot of things that I would love to see depending on what can be done with this trilogy. I have my own personal wish list. Maybe more can be added and boost up Underworld too. Either way, I love these games, love the character, and I'm happy for more Lara. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think these are actual teases for the Legend trilogy? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.